Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well and you all had a lovely weekend. I've had 24 hours from hell, so I'm a little bit behind, so you're going to have to bear with me, but I will be catching up this week because I have no college stuff. But 24 hours from hell. Yesterday, I went and got new glasses because I lost my old glasses. Hit number one. Number two hit. Car went into the garage. A couple of weeks ago, those of you remember, my car had a little bit of problem. I spent £500, got what I thought was fixed. Turns out not fixed. Earlier in the day, I'd rescued a mouse because it's me, because I saw it injured on the path and I didn't want to leave it there for a dog and a cat to come along. And maybe in some ways, I know nature is best, but I couldn't walk away from it. It looked healthy. There was no blood on it, but I thought I can't leave it there. So I carried it home, kept it warm, put it in a box and thought I'd let it rest for a couple of hours and see how it was. Of course, I'm getting my hair done. So I'm now sitting there. I've got about 50 foils in my hair. You ladies know what you look like with that in. Get a phone call. The mouse wasn't doing so well, so I knew that I was going to have to deal with that when I got home. And then I got another phone call that basically my car is it's dying. It's dying. It's going to cost about £2,000 to fix it, so there's no point doing the repairs. The garage felt really sorry for me and said, we're not going to charge you for anything we've done today. We've tidied it up. You've got like a couple of weeks. You can still use it, but it will not get through the MOT, which is due in 2 weeks, and it will cost too much to repair it, so you've got to scrap it. So I've just spent the last 24 hours. I had to get a lift to the vets to have this mouse, put to sleep humanely because I couldn't do it myself. And then also I have just been running around Sussex and Surrey trying to find a car. We now have a car. It's being delivered tomorrow. It was very, very cheap. Very cheap. And I've now cancelled Christmas in my house. So the only bit of Christmas we're having is going to be, the decorations that I'm putting up. So if I'm a little bit stressed and a little bit wired, that has been my 24 hours. So fun in the Taz household. Right, that's me out of the way. Now I've explained why I might be a bit more manic than normal. Let's talk about carpets and why I think Meghan needs to stay off of them. First up, we're going to briefly mention the green carpet, because the green carpet is something I've still not watched. I've still not got round to watching the Earthshot Prize, and I still want to talk about it, but I literally haven't seen it. Because I was like, I'm not going to watch it on social media this year. I'm actually going to sit down, cup of tea, glass of wine, whatever, and watch it and enjoy it. And then I can talk about it, in the next video. And so far, that hasn't happened. But anyway, so that's carpet number one. Carpet number two is today the UK has rolled out the welcome carpet for the President and First Lady of the Republic of Korea. President Yoon Suk-yeol and his First Lady, Kim Kong-hee, have already been welcomed into the UK and met by the Prince and Princess of Wales earlier today when they went and met them at their central London hotel. Catherine looked beautiful, wearing my favourite particular shade of red, and she always looks incredibly glamorous in red. But then, as we know, Catherine could look great in a bin bag. There was a huge ceremonial welcome that was put on for the President and the First Lady. After collecting their guests, the procession ran down the Mall with the King and Queen and the President and First Lady riding in the state carriage to Buckingham Palace. The ceremony was held at the Horse Guards Parade, and the Guard of Honour gave a royal salute and they played the Republic of Korea's national anthem. Incredible displays of pomp and pageantry that we love. So it was an incredible welcome to the President and the First Lady. And this evening is one of my favourite things. It's a state visit to the UK. You know what this means? This means a state banquet in their honour hosted by the King and Queen. This means tiaras, sparkles and really pretty dresses. I'm hoping for a Jenny Packham dress. Of course, the Princess of Wales, who rocks Jenny Packham gowns. So very excited. I will be, of course, including photographs of that in tomorrow's video, which I can tell you now is going to be called What the Puck. And, well, it will come clear tomorrow. Now, while we're talking princesses and sparkles, let's go back to Princess Beatrice, who was photographed arriving at Clarence House for the King's birthday dinner. She was the only one where we couldn't get a glimpse of what she was wearing. I said I had suspicions that sparkles might have been the dress code for the evening. And as it turns out, she later attended an event to honour designer Monique Lhuillier's new Mayfair store, which has opened. And this was what she was wearing. It is actually by the same designer and she looks absolutely beautiful. This is Princess B's colour. This matches her skin tone and her hair. She looks incredible. She looks beautiful. As you guys have probably cottoned on, I do happen to very much have a soft spot for Princess Beatrice. She is someone that I would like to see be taken in as a working royal, but there is a big difference here. She does not need to be a senior working royal taxpayer funded. She is a millionairess and so is her husband, and they have also got patronages. I say they, I mean, I'm still talking Princess Beatrice and Eugenie. They've got some of their own patronages and they don't have taxpayer funded privileges as it is, but I would very much like to see her attend more charity engagements on behalf of the crown, just because we've got the senior working royals and I think they need more feet on the ground, especially as the older royals are getting closer to retiring. Sadly, we didn't see the Duke of Kent at Remembrance Sunday. This was the Queen's cousin and he was taken a little bit poorly, so I really hope that he's doing well. Princess Beatrice, since she married Edo, has really come into her own. Her fashion, well, let's just say, I'm not going to be cruel, but she and her sister, well, there were reasons why they were compared to the ugly sisters from Cinderella. Nothing to do with looks, but some of their fashion choices were somewhat questionable at times. Fergie has always been a quirky dresser, so I think it's quite natural that her daughters also were quite quirky with their choices, but it's just sometimes quirky doesn't necessarily mean flattering. But you can tell that Princess Beatrice is really coming into her own style. And I have to say, I think she's got some Italian influence from her husband's side. And marriage and being a mother, she just looks content, happy, and she is glowing. And that colour looked absolute dynamite on her. Now, moving on to the next royal, we have Prince Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, who had the welcome carpet rolled out for him in New Zealand, where he was greeted with a traditional Maori greeting, and I will try and pronounce this right, a mihi whakatau. And the cloak he was wearing has an incredibly special meaning to it because it was gifted to him when he visited in 1983. That cloak is the exact same age as me. I love Prince Edward. He is out there as part of a royal tour going to New Zealand, Australia and Indonesia. It's all part of the Duke of Edinburgh Award, which is celebrating 60 years. This was created by his father, the former Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip. I think the majority of people would have been so angry and upset if this title hadn't been passed to Prince Edward and then, of course, the Duchess of Edinburgh, Sophie. And it's just so lovely that Sophie is holding a title that her late Majesty once held herself, because when she was just Princess Elizabeth, before she was the Queen, when she married Prince Philip, they were the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. The Duke spent his time at Blue Light, an organisation which is supporting young people, and met with participants of the Duke of Edinburgh Award. 40 participants were awarded their bronze and silver certificates, and then the Prince went aboard the Spirit of New Zealand, surprising those aboard who were halfway through their 10-day journey. New Zealand is, as I said, just one part of the tour, so more to come as I see what Edward is up to. Now, the reason why I've called the video the title that it's pretty self-explanatory, but there has been lots of news stories coming out about Meghan's big Hollywood red carpet return. And I just want to check with you guys first. We're going to do a little bit of a test. This is a red carpet, is it not? Yes, it is. This is a red carpet as well. This is Catherine and William, the King and Queen. These are red carpets. Just to check the eyesight, just in case I had an eye test yesterday, this is a green carpet. This is definitely not a red carpet, is it? No, this is a room packed with photographers. This is not a red carpet event, but it is, however, classed as a Hollywood event because there were lots of Hollywood A-listers. You had Margot Robbie, Emily Blunt, Leonardo DiCaprio. You had other A-listers and performers such as Billie Eilish, Dua Lipa. And it was also packed with some top Hollywood power players that Meghan was seen networking with, or at least, shall we say, posing for photographs with. Even Oprah was in attendance, but funnily enough, not a single photograph was released of Meghan posing with her friend. Meghan, it would seem, is trying to hang with a new crowd now. Now, there's no denying that Meghan was absolutely in her element. She looked preened to a military or ballroom dancer precision. There was not a single strand out of place, and she would have given Kate Moss a run for her money, 90s circa of the Croydon facelift, you know, when the hair was pulled back so tight it looked like that you were freshly Botoxed or in a wind tunnel. The dress made me laugh because it looks like she's just yanked it down one side. I did look up the designer and apparently that is meant to be worn off the shoulder, but I find it very weird. It's got bagginess at the back and then the seams off at the front. It just literally just looked like she's yanked it down. But regardless of that, that's apparently how it's meant to be worn. But it's the nude beige. Do you remember Meghan, the royal family? I wasn't allowed to wear colours because, I wasn't allowed to stand out and to, try and outshine anyone else. Meghan is always in brown, beige or camel. So it's one of those other things that comes up with her lies on Oprah. This is obviously a colour that she chose to wear, then decided to make the royal family look bad that they forced her to wear nude tones. Now, aside from the fact that she was wearing her usual uniform of bland beige, in her final touches to finish off her outfit were naturally her megawatt, brilliant white smile, and Chris Sanchez, the former president's bodyguard. Most women have a favourite clutch or a pair of shoes, but for Meghan, it's the bodyguard built like a fridge, protecting her from... no one actually knows. No one really knows. This is a huge event. Hollywood A-listers, security would be tight on the outside. This isn't just invite only. You need an invite for an invite to get in. But Meghan is there with the former president's bodyguard protecting her. Maybe she was worried Margot Robbie would come running over asking for her autograph. Now, one part of this story I've got to share with you, and it makes this story all the more funny, is Meghan was not meant to be there. She was not on the official guest list. Meghan was there as a +1 because someone at WME, Brad Slater, who is an agent for the talent agency who Meghan signed with, took her, I think he took her as his +1. Meghan was not on the official guest list. Where it gets better is Meghan was not seated at the front. She was not with any of the A-list Hollywood stars. She was sat at table number 12 at the back, and judging by some of the photographs that were captured, as other attendees were getting their awards, because Meghan wasn't there to collect an award either, she didn't look too pleased, did she? Now, Meghan, despite not obviously being on the guest list, she was quite clearly in her element as she ran round posing for photographs with influential people, such as Janet Young, who is the president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, who is the organisation behind the Oscars. Meghan was also then sat next to Paulina Abokwe, a chairwoman of the Universal Studios. And it's very clear why she picked these two women. As I said, it was strange that she wasn't photographed with Oprah, but Meghan was clearly not given any special treatment. She was not on the table with these two women. She literally is just jumping from table to table. As I've said to you guys many times before, Meghan has definitely come full circle. And as for the awards that were given out to these ladies, the awards were for women that have actually achieved something other than marrying a prince and trashing the royal family, because let's face it, that's all Meghan is really known for. Now, despite Meghan not being on the guest list as well, this did not stop her hogging the photographers in that little room, which people are calling the Hollywood red carpet. Any of you that have watched a film premiere, the Met Gala, anything to do with when the stars arrive, they have a set few number of seconds and minutes where it's like basically a production line. They go on, they twist, they turn, they pose, the next twist, turn, pose, and you see them going along the carpet. Some of them have assistants, if they're the big stars, fluffing up their dresses or holding their scarf out, making it look like the wind is in front of them, and then they go up the stairs or continuing along to be interviewed by the reporters. Well, Manic Meg was not playing ball, and I've got some clips that I've got to share with you. As Meghan took her opportunity in front of the photographers, you can tell that she is loving it. But you can see she's posing, she's turning, she's tilting, she's looking up. She knows how to work a camera. She really does know where the camera is. But as you can tell, because she is so good at it, they got the shot. Move along. But she didn't. Now you can see her assistant starts edging into the scene, and they're putting their hands up. They're trying to tell the photographers enough, but they are also trying to get Meghan to move further along. And you can see a couple of times where this poor assistant, who's probably now fired, is looking back over her shoulder the other way. And she is obviously being told, move her along now. And you can see her getting more and more frustrated as she's trying to gesture towards Meghan. Meghan then, when this assistant has gestured her along again, she then reaches back, holds her hand, and is still not moving along the carpet. And she's holding her hand like she's a fan. Oh, it's so lovely. Thank you for holding my hand. This is wonderful. And Meghan is still not moving along that carpet, and all I can envision in the background is the other end of the carpet is this assistant's going like, I'm sorry, it's Margot Robbie going, get off the carpet, Meghan. And you can just see all the other assistants and stuff like, get her out of there, get, time allotted. They've got people that were on the actual guest list that have got an allotted amount of time, and then they need to be able to have time to speak to the reporters. And that brings me to the next bit of the video where this poor assistant finally gets between Meghan and the photographers, and look at this, within a second, poof, Meghan has evaded her clutches and she's straight up to the dun 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 microphone. This poor woman is trying to tug at Meghan. She's obviously being shouted at by other people, and she is, 1 minute she's trying to push her, then she's trying to pull her. And I can't imagine that this woman still has her job, because can you imagine when all of this came out, because naturally headlines picked up on it. Oh, Meghan, she's not used to being pushed along the red carpet. Well, Meghan's not used to being on the red carpet anyway, let's be honest. But none of the reporters were calling her Duchess or Her Royal Highness. It was all Meghan Markle. And I just thought she really has done a 360, hasn't she? When an interviewer asked Meghan, oh, Meghan, are you enjoying being here? She's like, yes, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here to support women. I'm like, you say that at everything you go to. What are you doing that's supporting women other than hogging their airtime with the reporters and their photo time with the paparazzi? Meghan wasn't there to collect an award. Meghan wasn't on the official guest list, but there she was, taking up the time. And the problem is Meghan is there with women that have actually achieved something in their life. Hollywood power players, actresses, singers. What has Meghan truly achieved other than marrying into the royal family and then trashing them? Truly, what are her accomplishments in the last 3 years, 3.5 years, going on 4 years, since they found freedom? She had archetypes. It flopped, it was panned. The Spotify contract got cancelled. The Bench, her book, it was a complete flop. 40 by 40, that was a complete flop, never to be heard of again. What about her actually producing something? They had Live to Lead on Netflix. Most people didn't hear of it, didn't watch it, complete and utter flop. Heart of Invictus, totally worthy cause, but the critics panned it and said it was really boring, and I'm really sad about it, but it just wasn't a hit. So whatever amount Netflix are going to seem appropriate to donate, it's not going to be anywhere near as much, say, that Amazon fundraiser would have done. Then you had Pearl, the animated series that Meghan was working on with David Furnish, Elton John's partner. That was to be a little girl called Pearl, which Meghan, funnily enough, her name means in Welsh. Basically, it was going to be a feminist cartoon about Meghan when she was a little girl in cartoon format. Needless to say, it didn't even make it to the cutting room floor phase. When you think back of Disney, Netflix, Spotify, all of these executives that they have dealt with, that they have met, all of the platform that these two have been given. And it's obvious that they have completely wasted every single opportunity. There are thousands of talented singers and writers and actors and all sorts of people in the world, thousands of people that are genuinely talented that never get given that one opportunity. And Harry and Meghan have had so many people have helped them, given them staff, listened to their ideas, and they have come up with zilch. Absolute zip. As a producer and as a director, she's actually achieved nothing. She's still the same D-list actress trying to make it as an A-lister. She's even posing at some of the events with the same actresses that she did when she was just Rachel Zane on Suits. Even the reporters were stuck what to actually interview and ask Meghan about. One guy asked Meghan about the children and said, Meghan, what are the children doing for Christmas? What's their favourite festivities? What do they like to do for fun? And, well, you can listen to it yourself.
Oh, we're creating now that our little ones are little and enjoying every moment of it.
Yep, not one single thing, or, you know, gingerbread houses decorated. No, our little ones are little and they like doing little things. That's pretty much the answer she came out with as she's shaking her head. And then there was this young lady, and this is her asking Meghan about her only accomplishment.
What do you think is behind this renewed love for the show? Why has it become such a phenomenon again?
I have no idea. It was great to work on. Such a great cast and crew. We had a really fun time. I was on it for 7 seasons, so quite a bit.
Notice how she got in there. I was on it for 7 seasons, don't you know? Don't forget that little detail. But this is it. The only accomplishment, the only successful thing that Meghan's ever had in her life is when she was on the call sheet as number 6 for a cable TV show that she left in 2018 because she was being written out of it because Mike Ross was leaving. That is the only achievement at this Women of Power variety Hollywood event that they could ask her about. That's it. That's her only achievement other than marrying a prince and trashing the royal family. That is all Meghan Markle is known for. So as I can imagine in my head that Margot Robbie or the assistants were shouting, "Get off the carpet, Meghan!" because she hasn't got anything new to bring to the party. That event was for Hollywood power players, successful actresses and actors, singers, performers. And then you've got Meghan, that was a bit part actress, a cable TV actress. And as I said, the only thing that she really has made a name for is playing victim. And of course, well, a very, very brilliant episode of South Park. So guys, that's it for me on this one. I will be back with you tomorrow for What the Puck. And obviously I will be sharing with you photographs from tonight's State Banquet, tiaras and ball gowns. Cannot wait. So I will see you soon, guys. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that notification bell and hit the subscribe button. So take care for now, guys. See you soon. Bye.